Hello and welcome to Jessie James Beads. Today we're talking all things celestial. Let's take a look at what I've got on the board and then we'll create jewellery together. On the celestial agenda today we have this absolutely beautiful bead mix. I'm instantly attracted to this gorgeous charm or pendant. Absolutely stunning. We have got connectors and a variety of celestial inspired hues, beautiful moonlight infused colourways. We've also got a gorgeous array of spacer beads in the daisy spacer and those lovely rhinestone rondelles. We've got a connector again with that beautiful moon decal. And then we have got some gorgeous round beads which are faceted and half coated in a sultry smoky colourway and a vibrant silver colourway. Today I'm going to work with these beautiful celestially themed beads and some of those gorgeous half-coated round facets as well. We're going to work with quite a long length of wire, but don't let that put you off because it's a really simple technique. I've cut a 36-inch length of 20 gauge round wire, which is a medium temper craft or jewellery wire. All we're going to do before we get set up is warm through the last couple of inches of that wire and very softly just turn a loop a couple of inches from one end, and this will enable us to load all of our chosen beads on without them sliding off and also without committing to how the bangle ends. So add on your favourite beads, and what we're looking for is a 5-inch length worth of beads, and I'll show you what that looks like in a second. So there's just a little more than 5 inches worth of beads when they're all smushed up together, but don't overly worry or stress about that for right now. What we're going to do is to give ourselves an extra 2 inches of wire between where we made that little stopper. So just measure 2 inches of bare wire, give that a little bit of a push and make sure it could be 2.5 inches, something like that, just so that you've got a bit of spare, and then pinch on the core wire at the other end so you know where to make the next bend. So let's turn a right angle bend just here and get the ruler out of the way. I'm also going to move the beads off the board so I don't send them flying. Now we have a right angle bend over here, a 2-inch gap, a little loop and then some spare wire on the end. And what we're going to do next is to create a small loop just on the end here and spin that all the way around to create a lovely tidy little round form. Now I'm making this quite neat and tidy, but what I do want to be able to do is to add in my chosen clasp later. Now I've been provided with this absolutely beautiful moon face connector, and if I want to add this in, I will need to ensure that I add it into my loop at this stage, and I need to connect it just here on the barrel side, because when we come to add it in at the other end, we will need to be able to just pop it through onto the other side over this way. So if I just pull that back out of the loop, you need to ensure that you're adding in just here. You can, of course, retrospectively add this in if you don't particularly want to use this connector, or you can add in any clasp at this stage. What we're looking for the loop to do, if you're using this particular connector, is to sit between the moon face and the barrel. And then you can just turn that barrel up and keep it out of the way for now. Tidy up your loop and give yourself a little wrapped loop. So I've managed to make that a bit squishy, so I'm just going to straighten that up to begin with. That's sitting neatly in position now, and I need to grip across that loop, which again is not tricky to do, tricky to show you, and I'm going to just wrap around the core. So because I've got such a long tail of wire, difficult to see on camera, all I'm going to do is wrap 3 times just on that neck position. So I've just straightened that loop up and got 3 little wraps on that core wire. Again, if you're joining directly into the clasp of your choice, make sure that if you're using the moon face, the connection point is between the moon face and the barrel. So let's just turn that over, smooth through those first couple of inches of wire to make sure they're nice and toasty warm. It's incredibly chilly, damp and drizzly. I'm so bored of the rain. Let's just hook that wire out of the way. So what we're going to do is an over, under, over wrap on our chosen beads. So making sure that your core wire is nice and straight, I'm going to push the first bead into position, and I absolutely adore these beads. They do make appearances in lots of Jessie James Beads bead mixes, and there's a lovely handful in this celestial themed mix today. Once you've got your bead in position against that little wrap, we're going to take note of where the wire starts, and it's starting on top of the core. Push the bead against it, bring the tail round underneath the core. So you've generated a small halo around that bead, and I'm going to draw the tail of wire and all of that great big length over the top and back underneath. So what happens is the wire travels underneath the core all the way around once and then continues coming away underneath. So I'm just going to push that against the bead gently and draw my next chosen bead into position. Now I have gone for a variety of colours, shapes and finishes on this bangle. So we've got a lovely pear drop shape which is going to work absolutely fine, as will this rondelle, the rounds, the bicones, anything that you have in the mix. I would say probably not a drop bead because they look a bit interesting on a design like this, but if you want something a little more eclectic, then please feel free to use whichever beads from this mix you enjoy. So the next bead we're going to wrap in is this lovely topaz coloured faceted pear drop. So my tail of wire is coming away from underneath the core. I'm going to push the bead against this little tiny wrap and draw the wire round now over the top of the core on the far side of that single bead. So bring that little wrap into position. You can see we've got a halo to the top, a halo to the underneath. Bring the tail all the way around that core and continue onwards. So we're always switching from top to bottom, from bottom to top, and we're going all the way around once, all the way around the core wire once, and we're just going to repeat that all the way along the strand. So I will do one more with you and then I'll meet you at the far end of the design. So make sure that you take note of where the tail of wire is coming away on top of that core wire. Bring the bead into position against the wrap, bring the tail to the opposite. So from the top of the core to underneath the core, wrap all the way around the core once and continue all the way along. Now the ratio of 7 inches of bare wire to 5 inches of beads should work out really nicely when we're using this gorgeous 20 gauge wire. However, one of the reasons we just leave a small loop at the end here is in case things don't go quite to plan. Now I started at this end with that clasp with 3 wraps around the core wire, and I think probably we're going to end up with 3 wraps around this side. But with that last bead in position, I'm just going to draw that tail of wire away for a moment, and I'm going to turn a right angle and finish off the loop on the end, because what I want to do, now I know that it's the right length of wire, is I want to use this tail just here to wrap 3 times into this little gap. So I'm going to leave quite a large wrapped loop on this end so that it's easy to go into my chosen clasp, in this case the gorgeous moon face one. So I'm going to grip across that wrapped loop, and now that I don't have everything hanging in the way, it's very easy to show you how to generate a neat wrapped loop. So apply this logic to that end. Bring that tail all the way around and just fill the gap. So I feel like there's going to be slightly more than 3 wraps worth in that gap, so you could adjust accordingly if you wanted to have exacting symmetry. I'm just going to fill that space. What I'm not going to do is fill every last tiny gap. I'm going to leave, it's about 1.5 to 2 millimeters space, and I'll tell you why in just a second. Let's trim that tail away and then smooth down the cut end against the core wire. Once that's sitting really neatly and tidily and you can't feel it, what we're going to do is to form our bangle shape. You do need to proceed with caution when you're working with beautiful glass and gemstone beads, because what we don't want to do is putting too much pressure on those beads as we start to form the bangle shape. So I'm just going to bring this around by hand. Now I would always recommend when creating with beads that are not metal or wood, so gemstone beads or crystal beads or glass beads, whatever you're working with, just be gentle and make this shape happen by hand. If you're working with wooden beads, clay beads or metal beads, it's much easier to use something like one of these bangle blocks or a mandrel if you prefer, but when you're working with these beautiful celestial inspired beads, just take your time and you'll be able to generate a really lovely, smooth, either round or oval form for your bangle. So what we're going to do is just test to make sure that our connection point works. Let's slide that through the gap and then we can just close that barrel up. Now you have a choice at this stage. You can absolutely leave the bangle as is, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to very softly twist this end around through 90 degrees so that my clasp fits neatly. Both of these wrapped loops on either end of my bangle form are now in the same orientation, so they're both flat to the desk, and that means that the clasp can be at 90 degrees or opposition to the desk. So now you've got your bangle, you've got a way to open and close it, and you can either bring this last piece of wire around so it's on top of the core wire. Let's take it to underneath, and I'm just going to take it and wrap over the top of these wraps we made here. If you find that you've got lots and lots of wire left, you can add some spiraling if you desire, but let's have a look and see what that looks like. So I'm going to wrap over the top of the core wire, which has already got a wrap on it. That's 2, that's 3. One of the reasons I like to work with great big long lengths of wire is because it gives me options when I get to this end of the design as to whether I want to add a spiral or if I just want to do this double wrapped barrel-like finishing, and I think that's what we'll do for today. But you could indeed add a spiral if you wanted to. You have seen me make spirals many hundreds of times now. So let's tuck that tail very softly over the surface of the first wrapped loop area that we did, and just get that to sit really neatly. So there you have your wire wrapped celestial infused bangle, with or without the clasp of your choice. You could make a very simple S clasp, or you could use this gorgeous celestial inspired moon face clasp as I have done today. This is Jessie James Beads, and this is your celestial inspiration. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.